Alright crew, today we're going to go out and take the BajaBoard out. We're going to go and do a long range test, see how we go. Saying 44 or 45 Ks on the stat sheet. We'll see how we go. I'll just do the usuals, 5, 10, 15, 20. I'll see how I go. I might skip some of the 5s, and just depending on what the battery's doing and showing percentages, we might just keep going through and do 10s only, but we'll see where we end up. This is probably my last day with the BajaBoard, and we'll see where we end up and see how it all rocks up. I really enjoyed my time with this board, and this will be probably the last big crack I have on it. So let's get to it. Let's go have some fun, and while the sun's shining, let's make hay, or whatever the hell they say. Anyway, let's get to it and have some fun. Here we go, my favourite hill. As you can see, it's been raining all day, and it's just cleared up about an hour ago, and the tracks are looking pretty good, so we're going to come out and have a bit of a spray. So sitting down here, about 30 k an hour, and yeah, doing okay. I say it's very different, this board, for turning. It's not your usual turning sort of style. I'll give you a good example another day, or another video. I might even do it this one. We'll see how we go for time. G'day all, how you going? Skadoodle. Alright, BajaBoard's doing great. I am 5 Ks in, or 4.8, 4.9, and I'm 91% left, so we're just cracking along. Sun's staying out, and we're just enjoying our day. Let's get back to it. Hey crew, how we going? Here we are, we're at the 10k mark. We're actually at 10.4 k's and the remote is saying 79%, so 20% down and 10.4 k's done. We're still about 35 minutes so far. I'm just cruising along, I'm not going too fast, just enjoying myself. I've set the remote at 70%. 70% of max speed, and we're doing about 35 k's an hour, I suppose. Yeah, that's where we're at so far. Let's get back to it. Oh, geez, just made it through. Going through some back streets, doing a couple of connections. It's kind of fun. Good thing about this board is you can just go off and do a track over a few bumps, not even care how much you're bouncing around. It is sensational for just driving through stuff. So here I am. I've got about 14 k's done, I think, and we've had our first fall down, doing about 22k an hour, 25k an hour, and I've had my first step off on this board. Felt like the trigger was jammed, and I went to flick it off, obviously, and straight into the brake. Hence, down I went. Tore up my jeans, tore up my pads, and pad slipped up and away she went, fell down. Anyway, back to the range test and we'll see how we go. Long range test, I came a cropper. That's it, landed on my face. I thought I'd broken the remote, or the remote jammed on me because of a failure of the equipment. Turns out, it was me. I'm gonna show you a little clip right now. There it goes. Oh. All right, see that? I broke the remote. Now, I broke the trigger on the remote. I took it in to see Alessandro. He had a look at it, pulled it apart, knew exactly what it was. I've got an aluminium trigger on this board instead of a plastic one. The aluminium broke off the spigot inside the remote and twisted sideways. So when I didn't inspect it when I went for my long range test, because I went bush bashing the day before and broke the remote, playing around, I didn't inspect it the next morning before I did a long range test, and what had happened is that the actual lever had twisted off and jammed, and just happened to be after using it 3 or 4 times or 5 times, it jammed on and wound back all the way open. Now I couldn't unjam it when I was riding, so I had to try and give it a flick. I flicked it and it went all the way forward to full brake. So I was doing, I'm guessing somewhere between 25 and 35k an hour, and I went from full on acceleration at 50% to full brake. And it literally, the board stopped and I went off the front. Hence the gravel on the arm. This is about a week old now, week and a half old, healing pretty quickly. Elbow pads and everything's slid up, so don't get me started on safety gear, I wore it all. It just didn't hold on, it slid up my arm. So I broke the remote. It wasn't the board, it wasn't a failure, the equipment was perfect. I didn't inspect it the morning I went out and did the long range test. I should have. My own fault. Anyway, back to it. I hope you're enjoying the long range test video, and yeah, just to let you know, my fault, not the equipment's fine. Alessandro, 2 minutes, fix the remote. Thanks, mate. I was really worried I smashed up the equipment. Didn't. Back on track, back skating again the next day after he fixed it. So anyway, back to the video, enjoy. G'day all, here we are. Where are we? The BajaBoard's down there. We're cracking along. We've got to 19.6 Ks, 19.6 Ks. I didn't give you a 15K one because at 14.1 kilometres, I bit the concrete and skidded up one of my arms, which you'll see the nice little picture. 63% left on the board. I'm at 19.6 Ks. So far I reckon I'm going to get 45 Ks out of this without too much of a trouble. As I said, I'm only doing 35K an hour, not killing the board, not killing myself, just having a cruise. And hopefully I'm going to get home. Right now it's 3:30 in the afternoon, another hour and a half, 4:30. It's going to be about a 5 o'clock finish, maybe 5:30 finish. As you can see, the sun around here, sun's looking for home. And just going to keep on cracking on and just keep cruising. I'll see how long this battery goes. But right now I reckon I'm going to get 45. But I've called it early and called it wrong before, so let's go. BB cans hanging around, your decorations. Aussie decorations, I suppose you'd call it, wouldn't you? Oh, look at this. Quality, look at that. Nice. More decorations. You've got to worry about the state of our country where you find BB cans as a decorative ornament for your trees in Australia. I hope they're on gum trees, because that'd be un-Australian if they weren't. Anyway, back to the ride. One of the main road trails and headed out onto the a little bit of light gravel. For some reason I'm feeling more at home right now in the dirt than I am on the hard stuff, which is kind of funny. Anyway, I'm going to go down this path for a few Ks and see where I go and just do some exploring. I can with this board. It allows me to go wherever I want, and that's the Baja for you. It's a lot of fun. Whoa. Nice little wetland area right on the side of a industrial estate. Running parallel with a freeway over here. And the creek. Oh, we're going to find a bit of hard stuff again. There we go, look at this. I was here yesterday. He said it was a bit wetter down the bottom where I was down there. It's nice to be up the top. Nice and dry. It's dried out nicely up here. Interesting. Bit of an update, I'm at 30 Ks. I'm back out where I was yesterday somehow. I don't know how I ended up back here, but I'm 30 Ks down and I've got 40% left in the board. I am flying along, board's doing great, arms a little bit stingy and sore, but generally speaking, it's a great day out. Clouds are held off, there's no rain yet. Fingers crossed there is none. But I've got 40% left in the board and I'm gonna just keep on cracking on. I'm 30 Ks down, we've got heaps left, I think. So we'll see where we go. Anyway, back to it. Let's have fun. Sun's coming down on another glorious day. Can't be happier. On the BajaBoard. On the BajaBoard. Yeah, baby. Just to give you an update, 25% on the remote, don't know whether you can see that, 25% left on the remote, can you see those numbers? We're doing okay. I lost 3 Ks on relive because I stuffed up, but I know exactly where I was, and I've got 32.3 on here, you can see that, 33.3, so we're at 35 Ks right now, 35 Ks and 25% left. We are cracking along, we're having a great day, and the board's holding up really well. Me, not so much. Bit tired, bit sore after my little altercation, but we're still getting it done and we're getting our job done because that's what we're here to do. And I still reckon I'm gonna get the 40. 25% left, only 5 Ks away. Let's see how far we can actually go. So I'm down under 20% on the board, and I've noticed that climbing up a little bit of a hill, it's slowing down to 26k an hour from 30, whereas where I'm been sitting on 30 all the time. So it's just starting to back off a little bit. I'm not assuming the power's actually weakening, but it's just doing something different. Same place, same time, same back channel. The day's coming to an end, sun's starting to go down over the horizon, and I'm still out, and the BajaBoard's got 16% left in it, and I'm sitting at about 39 k's, so I've got a k to go to get my 40, and I'll check in a second when I see it, but the sun's starting to disappear on me. Here we are. We've just powered down for a second to conserve the battery. I've got not a lot left, but I want to make sure I've got as much as I can. I've got 14% on the remote. Can you see that? 14%. It's not happy. It's telling me it's going flat. At 70% power rating on the remote for power for speed, it's basically telling me that it's getting low now by reducing 2 or 3 kilometers. It's cracking along still. It's doing great, but it's basically slowing down and it's not happy. It's vibrating. It wants to go home. So let's see how far we go. We're at 40 kilometers, which is the noted, and we've got 14% left, and I've got about 2 k's to get home. I'm going to take it easy. I don't want it to go below 10% because I want to keep some battery in this so we don't kill it. All right. Anyway, back to the end, and let's see where we end up at the very end of the video. Here I am back home after the distance test on the BajaBoard, the Atrax S2. It's absolutely done exactly what I expected it to do. 41.7 k's, 38.7 on here because I lost 3 k's, because typical of me, I always seem to forget to press resume again. But the BajaBoard's done absolutely exceptionally well. Great, comfortable. Got a little bit of pins and needles in my toes towards the end, but that's about it. But we had a constant run. We're going for just over 2 hours. Didn't break any land speed records. About 30 k's, 32 k's maybe max for the ride. Just left it in 70% and just enjoyed. It was a great afternoon. The rain didn't come back, so we had a great ride, a lot of fun. And now I'm done. I'm knackered. It's been a big weekend. Anyway. If you want this bad boy for the range, just for commuting with friends and going out to do some distance runs, it'll do your 40 k's, no problem at all. I'm 90 k's. Today was about 13-14 degrees. So there's the stats of the day. That's it from me with the Atrax. I hope you're all enjoying the videos. Remember, subscribe, like, ring the bell, and click next on the next video and keep watching. See you next time. Craig Taylor. Oh, keep smiling. Keep smiling. Stay upright, unlike me today. Craig Taylor, GPT out.